Right. They were literally shooting people. They were running them down with dogs to keep them from voting. You know, we make laws to fix problems. We put the Voting Rights Act together because there was an issue, because they were keeping people from voting.
So now they're worried about laws. Now they're worried about people following the law. It's funny how that works, isn't it? Don't forget to subscribe.
Right. They were literally shooting people. They were running them down with dogs to keep them from voting. Okay, let's start with that. So when they say that problem is gone, it's not gone because you're still doing it.
It's really quite interesting how people have tried to manipulate people and how to intimidate people and change their minds. This has been going on since we've been in America. You know, you go back to the days of slavery, you know, and in a lot of the states there were more slaves than there were owners. So what did they do? They had to divide the slaves. So they told the ones in the house, you're better than the ones in the yard. And the ones in the yard, you're better than the ones in the field. And then after slavery was over, the light-skinned ones, you're better than the dark-skinned ones. And on it went, trying to divide people. Today, they say, if you are a conservative, then you are somehow an Uncle Tom, you're a horrible person, you're a demon. What a bunch of crap, you know, but, you know, it's been going on for hundreds of years. And it's really time to put a stop to it. So I am very happy to see that you have the courage to come out. You know, it doesn't bother me anymore because, you know, I only worry about what God thinks. I don't worry about what these other people think.
You're still doing it. And what I don't understand is what is everybody so afraid of? Because I always thought, I was raised to believe that you and I don't have to agree. That's all right. But now suddenly, your argument doesn't hold water, so you're cheating. See, that we're a two-party system. We're not just Democrats, we're not just Republicans, we're a two-party system. So Ruth Bader Ginsburg said throwing out the preclearance when it worked and is continuing to work to stop discriminatory changes is like throwing away your umbrella in a rainstorm because you're not getting wet.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to say is voting in local elections matters more now than ever before. Think nationally, work locally. Think nationally, work locally. One more time. Think nationally, work locally. We'll be right back.
Yeah, let's drill it in their head one more time for those in the back. Just the way they did that little thing at the end of the segment proves to me that they really think their viewers are dumb. Now, I'm not saying they are or they're not, but come on, how else can you explain the fact that they felt they needed to say it again? Anyway, it's obvious the old hags have their bloomers in a bunch over the Supreme Court's ruling on redistricting, which means it's time for them to amp up the fear-mongering and lies. But this is just insane for Whoopi to make these claims. And shame on ABC for allowing this type of rhetoric. How is it possible that she still has a job after pushing this narrative? These are the exact type of lies they push in desperation to keep our country divided. Honestly, what are they really trying to see happen? And why does she keep saying they? Who is they? The very party she's defending? Because if I recall correctly, it was the Democrats that were keeping people from voting. Remember the Jim Crow laws, where Democrats passed restrictive voter legislation, including poll taxes, literacy tests, and grandfather clauses? Or what about the white primaries, where the Democratic parties in many southern states explicitly barred black citizens from participating in their party primaries, which were the only competitive elections in that region at the time? Or what about the filibuster of the civil rights legislation? In the 1950s and 60s, Democrats used the filibuster to delay or block civil rights bills, including legislation aimed at protecting voting rights. And let's not forget the physical intimidation, where paramilitary groups sometimes operated as the military arm of the local Democratic Party, using violence, intimidation, and terror to keep African Americans from the polls. So who is they? Why won't Whoopi just be honest and say who they are? Why is it these heifers are allowed to make such bold insinuations as fact, yet they never give any examples of anything they're saying? They never provide context or show proof. Why wouldn't she just say who they is? Oh, I know, because I just told you who they is. And if the truth about them got out, then their whole entire machine would crumble, because it's all propaganda. And let's not forget that they're the same ones who banned our sitting president from Twitter, who impeached him twice, who raided his home, indicted him 4 times, encompassing 88 criminal charges, and convicting him of 34 felonies. Not to mention they jailed his supporters, and they smear his name in every breath they take. Yet they want to get on national TV and act like we're the threat. These women are the perfect example of the saying that being a liberal isn't just about being stupid, but it's about showing the world how proud you are to be stupid, because they have absolutely no shame in their ignorance, at least in my opinion. But I would love to hear what you think of this in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I'd also like to give a huge thank you to my 65 subscribers. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.